Okay, so democracy. Um, I think we have supported the ideal of democracy because of certain times like the American Revolution, where people were feeling oppressed by British settlers. They took the liberty to go out and go after what they wanted to get, and they ended up getting a democracy which has held and been the law of the land here for the past 500 years. So when talking about democracy, I would have to say yes. Okay, so opportunity. I would have to say that we have upheld this ideal because of situations like the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I mean, before that, these people didn't have the opportunities that other people were getting because of whatever their gender, their sexual orientation, or whatever. But I mean, for the most part, we all do tend to have a good amount of opportunity in the United States, no matter what color or whatever, social status, whatever. But it hasn't always been as fair as it could have been. But I would have to say that for the most part, yes, America has upheld the ideal of opportunity. Okay, liberty. I have to say yes, even though there are prime examples of it failing, such as the enslavement of African Americans for the past 400 years. But because of things like the Emancipation Proclamation and America being so gung ho to fight in different wars to preserve liberty and freedom, you have to go ahead and say that America has upheld the ideal of liberty because it's what our country was based on and built on. So it's always going to be a predominant ideal and thought that all Americans have. Liberty. Yes. Okay, rights. Now, rights, I'm going to have to say no. And this is an easy decision because of two reasons. African Americans and women. Now, women were discriminated against in not as so much as a harsh way as African Americans, but an equally terrible way. So, the next ideal, rights, is an easy decision, and I'm going to have to say no, because of two prime examples. Women and African Americans. Now, women were oppressed and couldn't vote or be educated for a long time in our country. Now, after they got the right to vote in 1920, things seemed to look up for a lot of women throughout the country. And mind this being white women. Now, African Americans have had a different path. After being enslaved for 400 years, the Emancipation Proclamation freed many African Americans who thought that things might look up for them at the time, but this would not be the case. Now, things like the Jim Crow laws and the illiteracy tests were just little things to keep African Americans back in daily life. Not being able to drink out of the same water fountain as someone isn't such a big deal, but when you were being tested on things that most white Americans wouldn't even know, but you need to know to be able to vote. Now, there, people, is where we have a huge problem. So I would have to say no. Okay, now the ideal of equality. So this is also an easy decision for me. I have to say no, because of the obvious reasons, which are African Americans and gay people and women. Now, those three groups of people not being held on the same level as another group because of what one group thinks about them just goes to show that we have failed entirely on equality. We're still not equal today. Even after all of the civil rights movements and the gay and lesbian movements and the women's movements, we still have differences now that are still trying to be sorted out. So I would say no.